And I'm pleased to be joined by the creative team behind one of our submissions, affordable housing. And I am joined by...
Hi, I am Eunice Levi. I am the director of affordable housing.
Hi, my name is Wi-Moto Nyoka, and I'm the writer and executive producer of Affordable Housing.
Hi, my name is Ianne Stewart. I play Constance in Affordable Housing.
Excellent. Nice to meet you three. So it's a very interesting film, as it is a combination of animation, live action, and some special effects. And I was wondering what the initial kernel of an idea was that gave rise to the project.
The film is based on a true story. It's the true story of a woman trying to find an apartment in a big city. A friend of mine told me this exact story, almost to a T, of looking for a place in Long Island City and having a creepy super show it to her with a somewhat fragile roommate already living there, and there was an egg in the ceiling. I, of course, embellished maybe a little bit, but I like to say that affordable housing is based on a true story.
Excellent. So how did you and the director come together?
So Wi-Moto and I both live in Philadelphia, and we happen to be a very small community of women in horror and in genre in general in Philly. And so we connected, oh my gosh, how did we connect? Originally, we connected through a shared grant, IPMF, and I received a grant for a genre film that I was working on previously. And then the next year, she won the grant for this film. And so, working in genres, she's the writer, I'm director. She's like, hey, let's work together. Let's get this done. She shared the script with me. It was so much fun and so wild and just out there. And originally, we were planning on doing it full live action. And of course, you know, through multiple iterations, we decided that animation was probably the best way to mix the two formats. And the reason why we really chose that is because being housing insecure and just the housing market in general really feels stranger than fiction. And so we wanted to have it feel like anyone can be in this position. And it isn't until, you know, things get real that things get real in the film. And that's the long explanation.
And what was it like trying to find an animator for the film?
So our animator, her name is Megan Llewellyn, and she and I were part of a collective called Nyx Collective, and it is also a horror collective of women identifying artists. And she and I were in competition, and her film won, and I was runner-up. And I thought, oh my God, this style of animating is absolutely gorgeous. Megan is a medical illustrator, so her style is very correct in terms of anatomy. She knows things about the body that people shouldn't. And it was really a no-brainer once we decided that this is something that we wanted. I know that we didn't want it to look too cartoonish. We wanted it to look real, we wanted it to look grounded, and we wanted it to really look as if it's a hand drawing and a sketch, and then that's the style that we went for. So Megan was a no-brainer, and I'm so happy that we were connected previously.
Cool. Would you do me a favor and pronounce your first name again? Ianne. So Ianne, being involved with the project, you're animated in it. When you got the script and you started talking with the filmmakers, what were your initial thoughts about the project and how it was going to play out in terms of your performance? And how did you find, did you have to go back and do any voiceovers, or what was that whole process like for you?
Yeah. Oh, I was devastated. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be on screen the whole time. How awful. But obviously, I'm in really amazing hands, and so I knew that I could trust these incredible women's vision to bring something really amazing to life. It was cool to. We did a lot of shooting that was then going to be later given to our illustrator, and so it was interesting to sort of almost kind of like silent film acting and adapting to some of those more like expressive moments and finding a way to tell story that would then that at the beginning of it we would have more of that silent film acting, more of that like larger expression, and then once you actually get into the realist reel of it, that you have this subtlety again of film acting. And so that was an interesting sort of reversal, and being a stage actress, it was nice to sort of find the balance between those two expressions and formats. And I mean, yeah, it's a great project to work on, and it's really interesting to. And we did have times that we'd have to do some coming back in to do some voiceovers and screams and sounds and different ideas of that. And so that's always fun to do as an actress because you get to retell the story, and you get to go back and kind of tinker and say, no, maybe I can kind of push this here. Maybe I can kind of fit this into what I already did. It was a great time.
It's interesting. One of the things that I like to talk with about filmmakers is the fact that out of all the genres out there, horror is the only genre where you get to explore the full palette of being an actor or a filmmaker or a writer, because you could have comedic moments, you have the horror, you have the drama, the relationships. For you as an actor, what do you feel about the genre? And moving forward in your career, are you somebody who's like, okay, I want to do Broadway musicals or musicals, not so much horror?
I want to do whatever they pay me to do. I love it. I love doing any of it. And so for me, horror is something I'm definitely a big avid viewer of. And so getting to step into the genre itself is exciting. I agree with you. I think that there is so much that is playable in horror, because you get to I think that often as actors and actresses, we're looking for, where do I begin my journey in this story, and how do I make sure that I, modulate everything correctly to still land in the highest high without, starting too high or too low. So that kind of modulation is always exciting to do. And I think within this piece especially, it was really beautiful to be able to explore not just like, how frightened I can be, or how angry I can be, or how much I can find that final, scream queen moment, or that, that final girl moment, but also how to, at the end, find some of the tenderness that begins to happen, some of the softer, more fearful moments that, that women experience, especially on the verge of what is at the end of the movie.
Very good. I was watching the film and listening to the music on the end credits, and there was a bit of reminiscent to a Danny Elfman score. And I was wondering about your composer and how you found them and what your conversations were about scoring the film.
Yeah, so our composer, his name is Rolando Gori, and he and I had previously worked together on a separate production a couple of years back. And when we were ready to find a composer, I thought there's no one better than Rolando. Part of the fun of giving him something is that you can give him a nugget of what you're feeling, and he'll come back sometimes the same day with like something like this. We're like, yes. So with Rolando, what ended up happening was Wi-Moto said, I want it to feel like Beetlejuice. It's horror, but there's comedy, but there's family drama, and like she wanted the feeling of it. And that's what he came back with, and he just knocked it out the park.
Excellent. And again, we've been talking with the creative team behind the short, Affordable Housing, which will be part of the horror program at the Winter Film Festival, the end of February. So visit the website to get information about the exact screening dates and times. And we hope to see you there. And we hope to see you all again with your next project.
Thank you.
So much. 1,000 utilities included. Really?
When my family got this building, we wanted to make sure that it was a place for regular folks, Oh, we're gonna get that fixed. It doesn't leak or anything.
Have you tried telling someone?
What are you willing to do to get free?